I had a really interesting conversation with a guy called Dr. William Davis, who goes under the title of Wheat Belly in the States. And he's an expert on this anti-grain movement. So remove the grain. He wrote a book called Grain Brain. That was Dr. David Perlmutter. But they're in the same space. But essentially, he told me about modern-day wheat and how even as much as 50 years ago, it has been radically changed through hybridization, which essentially means that wheat now has been genetically modified to be able to grow underwater. So in areas of low-lying countries that are subject to floods and monsoons, etc., you can still harvest wheat there. And it has been genetically modified for its height, so it's easier to harvest. There were a number of different areas that we had adjusted through this modification to make this very, very high yield crop that essentially is so alien to our bodies now. It has I think it was 10 new enzymes that didn't exist 50 years ago. But now what we're seeing is celiac disease, gluten intolerance, insensitivities, autoimmunity through the roof. And I was thinking about this the other day because I'm 52. You mentioned that you're in your early 60s. We probably remember, or still remember, I mean I do, I can't speak for you, but remember the time when we went to school, kids didn't have allergies to anything. Kids weren't overweight. There was no such thing, at least in my time, as a definition of autism or ADD. Kids were just excitable kids, high energy. But now, skin issues, gut issues, weight issues, anxiety issues, depression issues in teens, it's just unfathomable. Where did this come from? It has to be coming from somewhere. And I would hazard a guess to say what we put in our mouth will have an impact in some way, shape or form in all of those areas that we just outlined.